kind of evaded your question about discrimination a little bit, but I think it's just really. I think there are ways in which I'm marked,
right,
which are interesting. So even though I have never published a paper on AIDS prevention and health psychology, I get loads of them to review.
Wow.
Right?
Interesting.
That's the thing, because people think, they look at this, it makes a sense for the editor, right? I look at this, ooh, this could be a bit homophobic. Let me send this to somebody who I kind of trust because they're an in-group member in social psychology, and they're also getting, oh, that's a short list. My name is on it, right? So sometimes that sort of stuff happens, which I think is interesting, right? That's fine. I'll review those papers okay, with the usual caveat. So that one's interesting, and I do think also people, if you because you're doing stuff that's LGBT or that's feminist stuff or that's gender stuff, people don't see the possibility that you could be talking about substantive theoretical issues about cognition, right? So in my work, there's a really, really consistent thread about taking a particular stand on cognitive models that are about active cognitive processing, right? The reason I'm citing Kahneman and Miller and not citing some other models of categorization, there's a reason why I'm citing Sloman's work on feature-based induction and not Oshertson's work on category-based induction, because forms of categorization are political, and some of those cognitive models are saying things about the agency of people, the contingency of thought, that other models are not. Some of those models, I think, really escape the kinds of critiques of cognition that discourse analysts like Potter or Michael Billig would have given about how those are sort of complicit with racism. Some models of cognition, I think, really don't. And so that's in my work, but people don't see that, right? Because it's just, it's about gender or whatever, right? So that kind of markedness, I think, has a variety of kinds of consequences,
Maybe I could turn that question a bit on its head. Have you ever felt uncomfortable with the power that you may have had as a white male?
Yeah, I'm doing this interview as a case in point. I think this is real glass elevator stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think that is a really good way to turn it on its head, because I think those things are much more invisible. And it has been. I haven't written much about race. I'm actually doing some experiments about how people think about race at the moment, which are going really well. But when I've spoken about gender, it has felt to me that I could say things that a woman couldn't say. Yeah, and get away with this and have that kind of white lab coat sort of effect, definitely. And women have said that to me. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't get away with saying that, and sometimes that's, they keep doing it.